Hello, hello.
Hi.
All right. Hope everyone's okay. Happy Sunday morning. No,
Friday.
Friday. I'm used to my stream.
I'm so white.
That's racist.
No, I mean in the camera.
Yeah, I know. Well, I don't know.
That's
No, I think
racist.
normally you've got slightly more olive skin than me, but I think
Yeah.
I'm more tanned on my
It might be how
face.
the sun is. I don't know.
I'm sure this is really riveting for everyone. All right. What are we talking about today, babe?
Bad boys. Why women like bad boys?
I think
Because
we've
it's
touched on this and I've talked about this on my other channel, but give me your perspective. Why do you think women like bad boys?
because women like because it's sexy and dangerous and mysterious and women are drawn to it. Although our perspectives on bad boys are a little bit different. So we should probably define our definitions first.
Well, one big difference, you mentioned it in what you described as a bad boy just before, all those adjectives like sexy. You said an interesting word, dangerous. When we describe someone attractive, when we describe attractive women, we never find danger attractive, but women find danger attractive.
Yeah, but I think it's also because for me it's all fantasy. I don't actually go into reality with that. So for me, dangerous means more like tee dangerous. It's not like actual actual danger. You know what I mean?
Tee dangerous.
Like because for me, when I think of bad boys and stuff, like it's attractive and everything, but for me that's all in the fantasy world. Like I wouldn't actually go for a bad boy because I'm just too boring for that, I guess. But yeah, so the way that I see them is more like just mysterious, attractive, sexy. But the reality of what a bad boy could be when you go into danger and
Mhm.
criminality and all that stuff, that's different.
Not sure what you mean by that, Peg.
And I think your definition of bad boys is maybe more realistic than mine. Because like for me, a bad boy, like an actual bad boy in real life, I see that more like maybe a player, maybe someone who lies to women to get certain things, or but I don't really think of like a criminal or something, and I think that's maybe more what you think of.
Yeah. Uh, I think when men, even if they tell, can I have my coffee as well, babe? When men describe even what their fantasies or what they find a turn on, a dangerous woman, when I describe a bad girl, it's usually about the bedroom, that kind of sexiness, right? But
Yeah.
it's not about danger. It's not about I find a roller coaster and danger attractive. And I think most men would agree with me unless you've got a few screws loose. But whereas with women, skirting on the edge of a guy being dangerous, you find attractive. And I know that women like a guy who's strong, who can take care of himself, she feels safe around. So that danger element around him is kind of attractive to women. But for us, a danger element around a woman is not attractive at all for a well-adjusted guy.
Yeah, but so I think first because we're kind of talking about all the different things at the same time. I feel like
Hmm.
so I think that you can talk about this from two points of view, like the fantasy or actually dating bad boys.
Right?
And I think that from the fantasy point of view, a lot of women are attracted to the bad boy image just because it's like sexy, mysterious, attractive, dangerous. And that is also portrayed in a lot of movies, I think,
Hmm.
you know. And I wrote down a whole bunch of examples, like Twilight, 50 Shades of Grey, even Beauty and the Beast, even like movies like Transporter. You can see that there as well. So it's also like you can see it in a lot of movies, and like women like that stuff, you know. So you can talk about that, and that, like, I recognize as a woman. But then if you talk about it in real life, then that becomes a different story, I think.
Do you think a lot of women know where the line is? Because I don't think the majority of women, they let themselves conveniently slip into the tee-hee. Well, we know it's a movie, we know it's fantasy, we know it's like a daydreaming kind of fantasy. And they just want to believe it. They don't know where a realistic line is. I have met women who know. I've mentioned I've got one or two friends in my life and family members who they had fun with bad boys when they were aware they were having fun, when they were young. When it was time to settle down and they wanted to start a family and they were done with it, they picked a very different guy. And there are some women who can do that. But I think the majority of them conveniently just hope for the fantasy to exist or something. I don't know.
Yeah, so I think it's very easy to say most women do this or most women do that, but I think that we actually don't know. So maybe we should just say, like, some women do this. Because you wouldn't know unless you actually do a poll or something.
No, but you just look at when you talk to women in public in general, they're informed by the media. They watch YouTube, they watch social media, they're informed by that narrative. When you talk generally, when you hear them speak at parties, they talk like social media. They have that belief. And so they do, I don't know, I think women love the romantic acts. Put it this way, women love the romantic aspect of love and dating, right? And just normally finding a guy and going about things the right way is very boring to women. It's not a great story to tell. And so the oh my God story, the bad boy, that's an exciting story. That's something for you to get excited about yourself when you go out there and look. Most people don't want to find a partner in an objective, sensible way. And so the bad boy story is like it's a great story. It's very exciting, but it's not necessarily the best way to find somebody.
Yeah, see, I find that, I don't know that. I don't know if most women are like that, because I don't think people know unless you actually do like a worldwide poll or something.
Yeah, but don't you get a sense of how most women, if you were to pick 10 random women off the street?
No, but I think that most, like almost all women are attracted to bad boys in the fantasy sense. Mm-hmm. Like in movies and everything, we love that stuff. That's true.
Yeah.
But then in reality, how many women would actually go for a bad boy? That's a very different story. And I think that we can't just say most women would do that because we don't know. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Sure. But let's just look at generally online what you read. Okay. Is there more horror stories of men and even in general saying how this woman screwed him over?
Yeah, but that's because that's drama. And that's what's being put online. They're not going to put all the boring, happy stories online. So it's also skewed, I think.
Yeah, but I'm saying generally, where you it can't be 50-50.
I'm saying I don't know what the actual percentage is, but I'm just saying there's definitely a category of women that actually go for bad boys. And I'm saying we don't need to put a percentage on it because we don't know.
No.
We could just say, so that group of women, and then just talk about that, I guess. You know what I mean?
Okay.
No? Or am I being too controlling?
No.
No?
All right. Come on.
You really think it's most women then?
Western women, yeah. I think most Western women tend to lie to themselves. They'll tell you, nearly every single woman you ask will say, 50 Shades of Grey is embarrassing and they didn't read it, but it's the biggest selling book in history. So someone's lying.
Yeah, but there's a difference between the fantasy and actually taking action. And I think that most women find it like sexy and attractive.
But why can't they admit it?
Admit that they like the book or whatever.
I don't think we have a way of knowing. Most women, when they're polled about touchy subjects like this or subjects where they could be embarrassed, like how many men have you slept with or how old are you? women always just make up stories because it's proper to lie in certain situations. And so I really don't think, but I think what you can observe with your eyes, what's happened to you, how many of your friends and family have been divorced, gone through stuff, how women act, what you see with your own eyes and hear in everyday life as well as online, put them together, and what's the general thing you see? That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying every single woman or exact percentage. I don't care about exact percentages. But there isn't a general trend of how women act, how men act, blah, blah, blah.
I think it might just be because I just don't, I have no idea. And because I'm not social. So maybe that's why I'm hesitant to like say most women this when I'm not sure at all if it's true.
Look, I'm not sure of the exact numbers either. But generally, I'm confident in saying I know what I see and I know what I keep hearing from people generally in my life, at work, out in public, at barbecues, also online. And when you mash them all together, there's a certain trend.
But do you hear them say that they actually go for bad boys?
No, because it's kind of like an embarrassing secret. It's just like a lot of guys won't openly say they watch.
Yeah, but then how do you know?
Well, you know what, do most guys openly in public at barbecues tell you that they watch porn?
No, but then you wouldn't know that they watch that. So what I'm saying is, you say you talk to a lot of people, but then if they didn't tell you, then how would you know that that's...
In private, when you talk to them. So again, you don't have any friends, you're not a social person. But if you look in your own personal life, what people say in private when they're honest, when you have a one-on-one with someone, what they say. Because I think online, there's a lot of people that are starting to be more and more honest in YouTube videos and stuff. And publicly, a lot of people hide and lie about a lot of stuff.
Yeah, no, but my question is, because you said that you've heard from a lot of people something, and then I asked, so have they told you that they actually go for bad boys instead of it just being a fantasy? Because that's what we're talking about, right?
Yeah, I would say most women, if you get them to be honest, will tell you that they like bad boys.
Yeah, not like, but do they actually go for it beyond the fantasy?
Well, they'll talk to you about them being with bad boys and then learning their lessons. So obviously they did.
Okay, that's what I was asking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've heard that, not all the time, but a decent amount of women, I'd say more than roughly 50%. And again, it depends on how much is a lot. A girl could have dated 10 guys and 5 of them screwed her over. But maybe 5 of those 10 were kind of bad boy players, but they were sexy and exciting. But they went for them. We don't go for dangerous women. You can hear a guy who was drunk, who wasn't really in his right mind, and he went for some single mum who was a stripper, right? That's a one-off mistake, a story. But someone who habitually does that, who goes for the single mum stripper over and over again, they're rare guys, and they don't admit it. It's kind of embarrassing. They even know it's embarrassing. It's not a fantasy. The dangerous aspect about a person isn't attractive for men if there's danger in a woman. But for you guys, there's that danger element that's sexy. And I think a lot of girls, especially when they're younger and naive, they just kind of fall into it. They play with it. And then they figure out like, well, this can get dangerous, or I can't keep being silly with this. I need to get serious.
Yeah, I think it's probably more common when women are young and they're just dating and having fun. And then as they get older, then you've got obviously some women that still keep on dating that type of guy and other women that don't.
And I realize there's also the biological aspect that make it easier for women to enjoy it as a fantasy and sometimes slip into reality and trying it in reality. Like there's something sketchy about the guy, but I don't know, this is just exciting or something. And then they take it one step too far, and then you watch them in documentaries where they get, abused or buried in the backyard or something,
Well, I think it can be fun if you do it in a controlled way. If you're just in a phase where you're just dating and having fun, and then there's like a bad boy. But I have a different definition of bad boy. then you could just have fun with it, but you shouldn't go into it expecting a relationship or anything.
Yeah, I wonder how many people out there, again, I think it's more common with women, that they role play their relationships. They don't know the line between reality, like every relationship they role play. Because, you know, women dress up with makeup. They're not really themselves. They put a lot of fantasy as an image. They go on dates and they might not say much. They act a certain role. And then also, then why not have a bad boy? It's all make-believe. It's all role play, you know? How many of them are real enough to know that, okay, I might have a fantasy, but I'm not going to date that kind of guy. But the fact that women put on makeup and stuff, they already start to role play themselves, and then it's easy to role play with a bad boy too. But the less you role play, the more real you are with yourself. Do you know what I mean? That they have a better sense of where the line is between fantasy and reality.
I think that's two different things.
Yeah, but I'm saying some people don't consciously know it. They just feel what they feel. I dress up in a certain way. I act sassy and sexy when I go on a date if I'm a girl. And then here's this guy as well. He's sexy and blah-de-blah. And it's just all this fun role play that we're doing. And you enjoy the role play. And you don't realize you're role playing a relationship. And then it hits you in the face when he takes you home. It's like, you're not leaving. And it's like, oh my God, this is real now. This is no longer fun. Weren't we role playing a sexy date?
Yeah.
Again, it's before you know the guy and you know you're compatible, right? This is all initially. You might not even know you're role playing as a girl or a guy, but I see a lot of girls getting consumed by the fantasy aspect. But I do also, I have to acknowledge as well, women have the biological aspect of finding a dangerous guy who's confident, attractive, because that guy will protect them. You'll feel safe around him. He's confident. So I know that dangerous guy who can protect you in his bubble, however violent or irrational his little bubble is attractive because you feel safe next to a bad boy. We don't feel safe with a bad girl. Like, as in bad, she's bad for us. She's dangerous.
Yeah. I'm having
Did I talk about too much? Like I
No, yeah, it was a bit, I can't follow. You went a bit off script, I think.
All right.
Because we think in different ways. So I had a bit of trouble following everything.
Well, with the stream, I screwed up because I started this stream in a different browser, and I can't pop up the chats, so we'll have to read them. I can pop up, and I didn't load the chats that I made before, so we just have to read them off the screen.
Oh, that's fine.
Brandon says, many find good guys boring. They're always chasing butterflies.
Yeah, that depends on the type of girl, I guess.
Karu says, they know where the line is the same way they know where the G-spot is.
We know where the G-spot is.
We know.
So you're saying we don't know where the line is and you guys don't know where the G-spot is?
No, he's saying that women know where the line is the same way. I know. No, what you're saying. Men know where the line is the same way we know where the G-spot is. As in, men don't know. Is that what you're saying? That's confusing.
I don't even know if that's real.
Because men don't, the cliche is men don't know where the G-spot is. Yeah, I'm not sure if I make sense of that. Yeah, Brandon says, too many men try to become the rom-com version of a boyfriend.
What does that mean?
The romantic comedy version of a boyfriend. Men go into dating trying to be and act like the romantic comedy movie of the boyfriend. What girls watch, what girls like in those movies. Guys try to act like that guy because girls like that.
Okay. I don't know.
Boffin, he says, Steph, women going for bad boys is widely observable. Just ask any high school nice guy.
Yeah, okay. That might just be because I'm not social. Like, I've never had many girlfriends and stuff, and I'm very on my own. I just didn't want to, like, jump to a conclusion and just say because people are always throwing around like most women this and all women this and all men this, and I was just saying like, well, let's just say some women, or let's just talk about a certain group, or
Yeah.
so that's all. But I don't know. So if that's true, then that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's read some of the comments out. You want to read Luke's?
Sure. Because some people need to learn the hard way. Unfortunately, many of us need to repeat this mistake due to our own incompetence or unwillingness to learn. Whether by process of elimination or standing by our principles, our values, we then slowly but surely will discover what we actually need rather than what we want in a life partner. Physical and shallow attraction should only be a small part of why you should want someone.
Yeah, but the initial attraction is a very important first step. And if that's not there, you don't get to the other good stuff.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as the people who are, the body positivity people, who are largely overweight people that say, well, it's what's on the inside. I'm a beautiful person on the inside. But if no one can find you attractive enough to discover that and sit with you, but also if you're repelled by what your eyes see, it's very hard to see anything past it.
Well, yeah, you shouldn't be with someone you find ugly.
Yeah. So the whole argument about what's on the inside, and I agree, you should look for important values. They're the thing you need to find. But I wouldn't have been with you if you weren't attractive physically to me. I didn't find you pretty. You weren't my type. So I won't get to discover the compatibility of a person inside if the surface level, however superficial it is, if you don't find that attractive.
Mm-hmm.
Whether by process of elimination or standing by our principles or values. I think I've always thought that physical attractiveness is something you don't even have to try. You don't have to try, you don't have to really look and try to find someone attractive. You either do or you don't. You're kind of off the hook. Like that just happens or it doesn't. You don't have to try. Whereas other stuff you really need to try and pay attention to, because you can be distracted by physical attractiveness and be with a bad boy or a bad girl.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you really need to pay attention and be stoic and mindful of, yeah, they're attractive, but are they bait or are they just a beautiful person with a good character? Like how many red flags are popping up? So just them being physically attractive, I don't think you have to worry about that. You either like them or you don't,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What did you think about this comment? Many of us meant to repeat the mistake due to our own incompetence or unwillingness to learn.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I look at this topic differently than most people, because I've never actually gone for a bad boy. Like I wouldn't do that. For me, that's all in the fantasy world. So I don't have experience with this, and maybe that's why I'm looking at this in a bit of a different way. But I think that women that actually go for the bad boys, especially when they're older, I think it probably has something to do with their past and the way that they were brought up, maybe.
If they're still going for the same bad boy that they had bad experiences with, like they know better, but they're still doing it, is that what you're saying? Or they're still naive and they're older?
No, I'm saying they've had like some trauma in the past. You always hear about when there's like some trauma or abuse in the past that they keep looking for abusive relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe that's got something to do with it for some.
I think that's true, but everyone would say you need to work to get rid of that.
Yeah.
You can't just do it. It's like someone who's an alcoholic, even a guy who goes for the wrong types of women, the worst types of women. You can't use that as an excuse forever.
No, I'm just saying that that's probably why some women keep going for those types of guys. And then I think there are also women maybe that are just kind of they're just addicted to like the drama and the chaos. And like a normal guy is too boring for them. They just like excitement and stuff.
Yeah. An example was yesterday, because you usually like typical chick flicks and whatever, but yesterday you were watching a romantic comedy and you just switched it off partway through because you couldn't stand the drama and how emotional or something the girl was.
It was the movie The Other Woman, where there's this married couple and then Cameron Diaz plays the woman that cheats with the man. And this married wife, she acted like a toddler, like chaotic, crazy. And like I had to turn it off. I couldn't watch it anymore. Yeah.
But usually I can hear when you watch a lot of those reality TV, typical girly stuff. And some of them have nice stories, but they're very much geared towards women. And all I could hear was like whining and crying and and then I heard it go off and I was like, what happened, babe?
No, because I like watching chick flicks and like drama. That's fun to watch. But this was like another level. This was like, she was driving me crazy and I'm not even the man in the relationship. You know, she was just like a toddler, just throwing a tantrum in the whole movie.
Well, that's how I feel when I watch those podcasts where people are yelling over each other and they're arguing, whether it's Pearl or Fresh and Fit or, you know, whatever it is. When I just see them arguing and bitching and fighting, it's the same thing. When I see reality TV, like the Hollywood Housewives and the OC and all that kind of stuff, I just see people manipulating and backstabbing. And even Survivor, I could never get into it and I didn't like it. And I've had friends that said, oh, it's great. It's great to see human behavior from a psychological point of view, manipulation, what you need to do to survive. Sometimes you need to lie to someone. It's like, nah, I don't need to watch bad behavior. You're using the addiction to drama and watching bad people as an excuse to indulge in your, you know, it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch a car wreck. But I don't like watching that stuff because I remember when I worked in the corporate office, you'd see that backstabbing, you'd see the manipulation, you see the HR and the...
In real life, it's not fun, but in movies, I find it just entertaining. But I was just thinking, the reason why that movie was annoying me so much is because no one was telling her to fuck off. And that's... I hate it when in movies, there's someone that's just acting like a lunatic, and everyone's just taking it.
Yeah.
And okay, and no one's like slamming the door on her or like telling her to go away.
That's actually true. There's a lot of times I might watch a scene in a movie where, say, the woman cheats on the guy or the you know, one partner cheats on another. Doesn't matter if it's the man or the woman. And it happens, right? It's something that happens. And then the person just excuses it and they let it go and they keep tolerating it. Or if a child is screaming and they just keep letting the chaos happen and they keep letting the bad behavior happen, I can't stand that. It's like, how long are you going to do it? And this is the thing that annoys me also online with people's stories about how they were used or manipulating relationships. And you say, oh, you know, a little bit of sympathy. And it's like, yeah, I was with that person for 10 years and it was always the same. I was like, that's annoying. Like, I almost get angry because I can see myself in that situation. At what point, how many chances? 1 chance, 2 chance, 3 chance? When do you tell them to, like you said, fuck off? No, I'm leaving. You know, you notice it once, you give them a chance. Second time, hey, let's talk about this. No, it's never going to stop. We're the fix it. I'm fucking going.
Yeah. But when it's someone else, it's actually easy. Because, like, that's their thing. We had a long conversation about that yesterday.
Yeah.
But it is annoying when it's, like, a friend of yours. And you keep trying to help the friend. And they keep being in that bubble.
Yeah.
And then you'll be like, okay, like, I can't say anything anymore. Like, you need to fix your own shit.
It's like people who repeat the same stories to you over and over again. And they talk to you passionately as though they're telling you for the first time. And after a couple of times, you think like, yeah, well, you know, like elderly people, they'll tell you the same story over and over again. And you think, oh, well, you know, old people, memory. But some people younger, they keep bringing up the same, I was a victim, I'm a victim. It's like, well, here's a solution, but you don't understand. I'm a victim. It's like, you don't want to fix anything. You just want to get on a podium and say, poor me. So.
Yeah. Oh, Bob, that's a lie. Have you ever heard about the kind of Christmas?
Yeah, Karu says to me, that's a lie. Have you ever heard about the kind of manosphere
The kind of girls.
manosphere guys date? They love bad girls. Yeah, but apparently they'll say they don't. This is the thing. It's very hard to have sympathy for someone who's lying to themselves and they're defending the lie. Like I'm on Tinder banging random people and they're all terrible and, you know, they're awful people, but I'm just looking for love.
Yeah, but you know the conversation we had yesterday? We talked about, like, he likes talking about relationships and how people fix certain problems and taking responsibility and that
Responsibility.
kind of thing.
I'm a big person on responsibility in relationships, yeah.
You like talking about that. I like talking about the topic. And I don't have much to say when we go into specific situations where people are, for example, not taking responsibility, because I have no control over that. And my reply is always, well, that's their shit. That's their problem and they need to fix it. I can't do anything about it. I can only talk about the topic from like a general standpoint. And that's kind of what we always...
But that's true.
That's the difference.
But that's good. That's also a reason why in your own little world, whoever you were dating, whoever your friend was, whoever's around you, you have a sense of control because you can only control what you say and do and who you decide to have in your life and who you don't. So that's really good. Whereas other people, they don't. They just tolerate and like, why is this happening? Why am I being treated bad? I'm a nice guy. I'm a nice girl. I keep getting abused by the bad boy. I keep getting abused by the bad girl. And it's like, you're like, well, just leave. Like, you are here. Why are you tolerating it?
Yeah.
And you're very much, whereas a lot of people, they're on autopilot. It's like, what's happening? Why am I with a partner that's throwing plates at me? So, you know, honey, stop. What did I do? It's like, no, you don't throw plates at someone. Tell her to stop or fuck off or call the police.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but yeah, I talk about. I'm very big on right
like
and
you
wrong.
really like talking about that, and I'm very interested in talking about, like, what is it about bad boys that women find interesting, or what do men find interesting about bad girls, and what does that mean? And I like talking about the concepts and the ideas because that's what we have control over. But when you go into like relationships between people and people acting like idiots, then I'm like, yeah, that's their problem. Like, what am I going to say?
Yeah, but it's also a man thing as well because women can indulge in that, but ultimately the guy's going to be blamed. The guy has to ask a woman out. A guy has to say sorry. A guy has to tolerate. You hear the cliches. When a man and woman fight, the best thing a guy could do is apologize, even though it's not his fault. Like, guys want to know. Everyone out there needs to behave better. You're saying, yeah, who cares if people don't behave better? I'm not going to be around them. And that's true. But we're the ones that have to go out there and ask women out and try and be responsible for a family. And like, we have to be responsible. So we want to make sure the world is kind of acting sane out there. Whereas you don't care. You don't care if the world acts sane or not. You'll just reject it.
Yeah, but I don't care because I have no control over it.
That's true. That's true. That is something we have to learn as guys. You might have it naturally, and maybe women have it more naturally because they're more selfish. Like, yeah, I don't care. I know my world. This is what I want. Yeah. I don't care about the outside world very much. He does something, I leave. Whereas with the guy, it's like, yeah, but no, you're deviating from the plan. Why are you being rude? Why did she throw a plate at me? Like, what did I do? They're always trying to fix the situation. Whereas with women, maybe because they just care about themselves more and what they want, they can disengage very objectively from a situation from right and wrong. I don't know.
Yeah. And women can probably do that too easily, but men need to do it more easily, if that makes sense. Like, men need to be a bit more selfish, I feel like.
You know what happens? Men try and work things out objectively outside of themselves, but once they get together with a woman and they fall for her, all of a sudden she becomes a fixed reality. She's no longer someone you can leave or say no to, because you've already decided she's part of your world, just like the sun and air and rain. You know, before you get with a woman, it's kind of like, yeah, I have to be sure, do I take her or leave her? But once you get her, she becomes part of real life.
Yeah, but that's me as well. I mean, you're even if you're in love with someone, you're still able to see red flags and act on them. And I think that men don't always act on them. Because, like, we're married and I love you and we're going to be together forever. But if you start hitting me, I'm going back to Holland. No matter how much I love you. Because I have a brain. Right?
For better or for worse, babe, that's worse.
Depends on how you hit me, I guess. No kidding. But you know what I mean? Like, even if you're, like, committed to someone or you're really in love with someone, you should still be able to see the red flags. I mean, maybe not in the beginning because you're, like, in love and stuff, but, you know, sometimes you hear about really extreme stuff happening and men just stay there and...
Maybe this isn't any more complicated if you look at it than if you eat bad food. Like, you know the difference between eating healthy and eating bad. Or a guy who's a little bit bad, he's got a bit of charisma, he's a bit edgy, a bit confident, compared to a guy that's dialed up to 10 and he's a sociopath and he has no feelings, and you feel safe and dangerous and you feel special because look at my psycho partner, girls. He's hot and he'll snap your neck. You feel special and you feel protected. You just hope that he doesn't do that to you. But I think there's also the sensible, just like food, like, yeah, there's the extreme, binging on junk food, or there's a little bit of a dessert, like the person, just like a person. They have a little bit of fun in them. They have a little bit of a bad boy. They have a little bit of an edge. That's within the reasonable bounds of they're a decent person, but you can't push them too far. You know, they can be bad if they want to, but they control it. They're a decent person. But it's up to the individual to not go too far in, you know, role playing, like, or being addicted to a really bad person.
I think bad boys are, if you've got bad boys that are, like, very low-key bad boys, they're kind of just like players, that's fun for a date or whatever. Other than that, you should stay away from bad boys. You should not go into a relationship with a bad boy, obviously. Yeah.
This is something important. We talked about this yesterday. There's a difference, because guys don't really use the term bad girl. Bad boy is a very common term because women find it attractive, and they always get their hearts broken, or worse, they end up in a documentary where, you know, they're no longer here.
Right.
And that's the danger for women. We don't use the term bad girl. We use the term sexy girl or she's bad, but we talk about it exclusively in terms of the bedroom, sleeping with her. That's the extent of how naughty or bad she's a bad girl. It's not about her being dangerous and like, oh my God, she turns me on because it's dangerous being around her. It's like, no, we're not attracted to girls at all like that. But you have that element. And I think that's where some girls can blur the line, where they role play or they have a fetish relationship instead of a real one. So they have relationships like a fetish instead of like, okay, this is obviously fun and I know the limits of fun. Like I can get a bad boy, but I know the boundaries. You know, I like having fun to this point. If he does this, it's a no-go. And I protect myself from bad situations around him because he's a bit out there.
I think that because you guys all agree that women really like bad boys and they also act on it a lot. And that might actually be true. But I think that's probably the same thing as the way that men are like really attracted to women. Mm-hmm. And that's like a biological thing. I think that's the same thing for women with bad boys, probably.
Yeah. All I'm saying with that is just look at everything out in society. Even if you're not that social, you don't know many people, so you can't get a accurate personal sample. You know. Look at 50 Shades of Grey. Look at the movies. Look at the type of romantic movies that women watch. Sex in the City, all of that stuff. Just look at everything women consume, even as entertainment. If they're always watching this, they're absorbing it, they like it, it's attractive, it's stimulating. They're going to fall into these things over and over again when they're dating. They're going to find them attractive when they're dating because they're familiar, they watch it, they consume this stuff, they read these books. Conversely, you look at what guys consume, what we watch and stuff. And if you say, well, guys always go for this, yeah, you look at everything we watch, what we consume, how we talk, what we're into, yeah, we go for those girls. Some of them are not good choices, but we don't go for dangerous. Women have a lot of that dangerous, risky thing that they're attracted to, making the wrong choices. You see in these rom-coms, they have a nice guy, but they go for the terrible one. And that nice guy just stays there, and she always has that soft place to land at the end. The nice guy takes her back. That's not real life. So she's always making the bad choice in movies. She's always the romantic movies, those what are those really popular
Novellas?
The novellas, the
Harlequin?
No, that genre of women romance novels. There's a word for it. It's kind of the biggest selling.
Hallmark?
Yeah, the Hallmark kind of Mills and Boone, with the guy on the front with his shirt off and there's a girl.
Yeah, like romance novels.
Yeah, but those ones, it's always, when you look at the storyline on every single one of them, it's on the edge, if not going over the edge of a bad boy. The stories are never a decent, nice guy with a bit of an edge. It's always extreme, pull back. Extreme, pull back,
But I also think that the nice guy is portrayed in a lot of movies. Because you also see a lot of movies where they're already dating a guy and he's an asshole. And then they fall in love with a nice guy. You also see that a lot.
Yeah, that's actually a positive message.
And women are also attracted to that. Like the nice guy in movies also.
You don't see that as much, but I have seen that a few times where she's with a bad guy and then it takes her to, like most of us, we're naive and we do stupid things when we're young because we don't know any better. We gain experience and then we choose something that's better for us. And it's that, I think those kind of romantic movies for women are more informative. That would help them. You're making stupid choices. You're doing stuff that everyone's doing. You're just attracted to what you're attracted to. You don't know it's a dysfunction. And then you decide, no, here's someone else that's different. They're a nice person. I don't feel sad anymore. He's not abusing me. He's not lying to me. Those stories are good.
Well, you do see a lot of cheating in rom-coms. Even it's portrayed in a good way, but there's a lot of cheating happening always. Like,
as in
bad.
it's justified. The cheating's justified.
Yeah, like the woman is with like an asshole, but they're in a relationship, and then she falls in love with someone else. Like, that's cheating. It does, even if he's an asshole, you're cheating. Well,
movies play on that. It's kind of like none of us would want to take another person's life, but you watch the thrillers where someone's attacking your family, then you're capable of killing someone. It's always like, it's wrong to do it, but they toy with like the cheating bit. It's like, I should have left, but really, he's been cheating on me with 50 women. I cheat once. Yeah, I know it's wrong, but compared to him, but
why couldn't you just break up first?
I know, but they like to kind of show this person's so bad, so, me cheating isn't so bad compared to him.
I think they do it to normalize cheating. Because that happens in so many rom-com storylines. They normalize cheating in the movies, I think.
I don't watch many rom-coms. Do they normalize it where the guy's typically the player and then the girl cheats for the first time?
That happens in so many movies, yeah.
And kind of the cheating is lowered for the woman. It's not seen as bad because her partner was such a player.
Yeah, or he neglected her, or he was just an asshole, or... Women like drama. Yeah, true. I like drama on screen. but not in my life.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
peculiar thing with women. They love the opposites. Their fantasies in their head are very often the opposite of in real life what they want. So you like watching typical drama and rom-coms, but in your real life with us socially, you don't like that at all.
No.
Yeah, I just don't like it anyway. Like I think Silva said, he couldn't watch Survivor for the same reason I couldn't. I just don't like watching bad behavior.
I couldn't watch Survivor just because it's boring. It's so boring to me that it's not even about the drama or no drama. Like, why would you want to watch people in the woods making stuff? Like, it's like watching paint dry. But that might just be because I'm a woman, but I'm just giving my opinion.
Yeah, but that's how I feel sometimes when you watch your shows. It's like, how can you watch just these bitches yelling at each other and pulling each other's hair out?
It's fun. It's drama. I like it on screen. But yeah, not. But I don't like the psycho drama. I don't like the psycho women, because that just makes me annoyed. Because then I put myself in the position of the people that are talking to them and that have to deal with them, and I can't take it when in a movie people just take shit and they don't defend themselves. Oh, that drives me crazy. So that's why I can't watch it. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it sort of stimulates the fight or flight. Like you want to fight, you want to stand up for what's right. And you like watching people that act badly so you can stand up for your principles. But that's just irritating because I would have no control. I can't do anything except for yell at the screen. It's like, no, I just need to walk out or walk away. I'm out. So I might as well not even start watching. If every time I watch these ridiculous people on these shows fighting, my only response is to get annoyed and walk away, how about I don't even watch you in the first place? It's the same result as me walking away later on. I just don't waste my time watching you.
I wonder how you would respond to that movie. Because I watched it like halfway and then I had to stop. But I wonder how... Because you probably heard a lot of screeching and screaming and... Oh, man.
They film it in a slick way, but I don't think I would have watched it past a couple of minutes. Because unreasonable people, I can't be around them because it's like tolerating a toddler. Some people can tolerate a screaming child, and I've seen it in public, especially paternal people. Their kid screams, and they can just keep talking to another person like their kid scream is like, quiet, Johnny, and bloody blah, and and I'm like, I have to go away like I'm one of those goats that freezes. And people can do it. People just find it comfortable. Kids screaming, pulling at their hair. They're on the mobile phone talking while there's kids. I don't know. Maybe I need to...
No, I get what you mean, babe. I mean, sometimes I can't hold my tongue in the supermarket. You know? What are some examples? Sometimes I say stuff out loud that I probably shouldn't have said out loud. Like,
whenever a kid could be screaming right here with the mum, and if it starts screaming, you just out loud say, fucking hell.
Yeah, that's an example. I'll go like, fucking hell, just out loud. Or I'll go like, oh my God. Or one time I remember I said, why are there people on this planet? I just said that out loud because it was busy and like people annoy me.
Yeah, but what is someone going to say if their kid just like blurts out and screams and shocks you? You go, fucking hell. Oh my God. Like, they can't get angry at you because their kid did something objectively that shocked you. And of course, they disrupted everyone. I think they're kind of embarrassed and they're just defending their kid. But
kids are so annoying, man.
Uglife says, yeah, I don't know what that means. Men don't like dangerous, LOL. I guess human hasn't heard about Yandria.
Yanders.
I don't know.
I don't know what that is either.
These references, a lot of people watch a lot of like news and media, I feel like, and I'm not in on the news. And so when they drop these things, drop these sayings, it's like this, it's like that. I don't watch news and media. I'm not up on celebrity gossip. And so when they say this stuff, I don't get it. Context, people, context. Yeah. Hi Ho Silva says women like drama. Familiarity feels safe even when it isn't safe. Okay. Silva left a message here. I want to read his message out. He said, I can't answer in terms of this question, why are many of us attracted to bad people? He says, I can't answer why. I can say I've learned the hard way that if I find a woman highly attractive, it's an illusion. If it seems too good to be true, it probably isn't true or good. If I'm patient, I hope to find someone just true enough to be good. Not amazing or perfect like I thought I had before. Just real will do. Yeah, it's often... I've said this before. I haven't found many 10 out of 10 gorgeous, stunning, model-faced women to be the same kind of personality. Their personalities usually aren't 10s as well. And I think that if you accept a lower range in looks so you can match or increase your range of personality. So instead of just being attracted to 10s in looks, hold it back a bit, pause it, look for, what's good enough, like someone above a 6 or a 7, and then look if their personality is at least there, if not more, Whereas a lot of people, they just look at how attractive someone is, how they turn them on, and they just want to stay next to them. I just want to stay with this beautiful person. They're valuable to me. They're valuable. They're beautiful. They're attractive. Everyone wants them. Therefore, they must be valuable. I got to hold on to them.
Yeah, it's funny to me how in America everything is so analyzed. Everything with dating and stuff. Like, I feel like in Holland we never talk about this stuff.
Because there's a lot of things hidden in dating and social interactions in the West. I feel like in Europe, by what you describe, everything's more or less in the open. Everything is literal. Oh, there's a beautiful woman. She's a beautiful woman. Someone's rude. Someone's rude. I watched 1 or 2 little clips about Americans going to Holland, and one of the things that commonly they say is that they're surprised how direct and matter-of-fact Dutch people are. They're not politically correct. They're not rude, but they'll call something out for what it is. Can you keep your kid quiet, please? This isn't the place for that. And Americans were like, don't tell me what's like, no, your politics don't work here. This is the correct way to do things here. So I think it's also social where you grow up, babe.
Yeah. I think I wanted to respond to something
that he said, Silva.
Oh yeah, when you said not amazing or perfect like I thought I had before. I do think that if you're looking for a partner, they should feel amazing. Not perfect, but amazing. Because you're amazing.
Thanks, babe.
And I think you're perfect, but you won't agree. But
I'm not perfect.
You're amazing.
There's been moments that show that I'm not perfect. I know we're perfect for each other.
Yeah, okay, but that's like negligible.
But that's kind of like if we're objectively rating each other, we're not perfect, but we're subjectively rating each other in terms of compatibility. Yeah, we're pretty perfect for each other.
And perfect is like a 9.9. I'm simping. Is there a female version for simping? What would that be? Fimping. No,
simping for a woman is actually normal, socially acceptable. Because if you want a man to lead and you want to feel safe with a man, he's got to lead. Therefore, you have to simp behind him for him to lead you. But when a man simps for a woman, she's in charge. Anyway,
okay.
Melee, you want to read his?
Well, because we are perfectly imperfect, many people seek excitement in many forms. Oh, I can't see it. Male and female. Gone are the days you have one relationship, that's it, and that's all I need. The real question is examining human behavior more. Why are humans no punt the way they are? And the answers lie within that question.
I think that's a spelling mistake, autocorrect. Why are humans no punt the way they are? Oh, no pun. Why are humans no pun the way they are? And the answers lie within that question. I think it doesn't need to be complex. You know how you just mentioned we overanalyze dating in the West? If you keep it to basics, I think you'll do well, but we overanalyze every aspect of dating, like statistics and women's nature, and now we've got psychological terms, borderline this, and she had tendencies of this, and her childhood was this. And at the end of the day, it's like, I don't care. If you're rude, you're rude. If I don't like you, I don't like you. If I can't speak to you, that's not good. If you keep it to the basics, all these little sophisticated details that the West loves doing with relationships, it doesn't matter. If you keep it to the basics, you know what good behavior is and you know what bad. I don't care what your excuse is. I'm sorry what happened to you. I'm sorry how you feel, but you wouldn't like to be treated the way you're treating me. That's it. Oh, but no, there's no buts, because I can't use the excuse on you. So if you treat me badly in a certain way and you say, well, you have to take it because of my childhood. Oh, that's the way I am, and men and women and blah, blah, blah. But it's got nothing to do with that. It's just that you're a bad person. You're not acting nice, but you expect me to be nice. That's all you need. You just look at fairness. That's all you need to look at. But I guess we're talking about bad boys and bad girls because we're wired differently for bad boys or bad girls. And you girls find bad, as in dangerous and risky, in men.
The fantasy for me. For me, it's only the fantasy. But
generally for women, women have that inclination to be wired to find it attractive, the dangerous aspect. Yeah.
That's true.
And we're not wired to find the dangerous aspect of women attractive.
Yeah.
Women, we find the beautiful, sexy part of women attractive, but not the dangerous. I think because men also have enough danger in life to deal with, we want to come home to something that's not dangerous.
Yeah, but that's what I said yesterday. I think that's also biological. Because women want a man to be masculine and strong or dangerous. And then, but men don't want that in a woman. They want like feminine, nice. So that makes sense, what you said.
Full screen. How long have we been going on the stream so far? Nearly an hour.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that went so fast.
It always does. It goes a lot quicker when I do a stream with you compared to when I do it on my own. I'm roughly what I think how long I was going, but with you, I have no idea.
Yeah.
All right. Any comments or questions? If you would like to ask Stephanie or I a question, where is it? Where's the little comment thing? I don't have it. This is annoying. I don't think I put it. All right. Yeah, if you would like to ask us a question during the stream, please put 3 smiley faces before your comment or question. Okay. Not looking at this, because you get distracted when you have bullet points, I noticed.
Well, I got really thrown off in the beginning.
I know. I think everyone noticed. Like
sometimes, like I'm a bit autistic sometimes, and we had like bullet points, and you kind of started talking about all of them at the same time, and it completely threw me off. And that's why I was like,
That's why we shouldn't have those bullet points. We should look at them, talk, and if you need to refer, pause, look back at them, and put them away. You get distracted. You're like a cat when you look at the light on the wall.
Yeah, but it's hard for me to jump from subject to subject. And I'm like, let's talk about this. Okay, and then let's talk about this. Like, that makes sense. But your brain is like, you can do everything at the same time.
Yeah, but that's not good. Like, sometimes I waffle on, I talk around the subject too much. But as well, if you're too mechanical and you just go through each bullet point, it's not a free-flowing conversation. You're kind of like a doctor telling someone, well, it's this, then take those vitamins, then do this. Okay, bye, see you later. Got to be entertaining as well.
Yeah.
So you got to relax, and I've got to rein myself in and not relax too much.
Yeah, I got to relax. That's true.
Anyway. Hi to the regulars. Hi, Boffin, Karu, Peg, Silva. Anyway, how many people have we got online now? What else do we want to say about bad boys? The main reason I found this topic interesting, because I've talked about this a few times on my channel and with you in when we've done videos, why I wanted to talk about it today with you, and you introduced this topic, was because I find it interesting that women find the bad, dangerous aspect attractive generally. Again, not you, most women. Generally, women find it sexy.
Yeah.
From romance novels to rom-coms, making the wrong decision. They can't help it. It's a sexy, wrong, dangerous decision. I'll go with the bad guy. I'll whatever. And that seems to be attractive to women. Whereas the dangerous thing for men isn't attractive when it comes to women. We don't want any danger around a woman. We don't find it attractive at all.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Most guys who marry women and get with them, there's not one part of them is like, oh, they're dangerous and unpredictable and I feel a bit nervous and afraid of them, but that's sexy. It's like, no.
Yeah. But it is interesting how that is contradicting, like with women. Like they like the fantasy, but then some aspects they don't want in their real life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if there's any final questions, then we can wrap the stream up. How many of you guys or girls, but especially with guys, do you get off on watching reality TV? Because I see a lot of the dating podcasts and stuff, I just see them like reality TV. But a lot of guys are now watching them as though they're learning something about relationships. But I just see them as drama as well. I get the same reaction as you did with the movie where you just can't watch screaming toddlers.
I think women overwhelmingly like watching drama shows more than men. But I actually wonder how many men enjoy watching serial killer stuff.
Yeah, but that's like watching a documentary of a lion killing a deer and stuff. It's kind of, there's a line between reality and observing something coldly. And it's like a lot of guys can watch PORN online, right? But most guys don't think, well, as far as I can tell, the people I've known, maybe it's different in this generation, I don't think that's reality in real life. You don't just get it easily, and those dumb scenarios don't just happen automatically in real life. There's a difference between entertainment and real life. If I watch a serial killer movie, that's within that movie. Just like when I read a book, that's in here. Reality is when I snap away from it. Now this is reality. But I think people live online so much now, they've just kind of blurred the lines between what they fetishize in terms of people and relationships, and they don't spend much time in real life. And then if they do, they've just been trained to like whatever perverse thing they like online to try and find it in real life, because that's all they've been stimulated by. Bad boys, podcasts, men and women, manosphere. This is my vocabulary. This is how I think. This is what I know. This is what turns me on, makes me come alive. And then you go out there and you date that way. You talk that way. And then you come off as weird. So I think a lot of people get informed very highly by the entertainment that they consume. So that's why I say a lot of women who watch a lot of these shows, and women say, oh, it's just a bit of fun. It does condition women to go down that path, expect certain things, because they're always watching the shows. Your eyes and your mind sees a familiar, fun, exciting thing. And so it's kind of normal to pick bad boys and break up and a nice guy to save you. But reality can be different.
Yeah, but I think many women who do that, like, it's almost like they don't know who they are, that they're so susceptible to all of that. Because, like, to me, what you said about serial killer stuff, that's just within that movie. It's not reality. When I watch drama shows, that's the same thing for me. Like, I enjoy watching it, but it's separate. It's not like my life. I don't want that in my life.
I think today people are in the movie. I notice guys in the manosphere, you can't get them to talk about reality much. They're like in their own little rom-com about how they see women. Women are in their own little rom-com when they watch movies. So people, I think, online now, they inhabit their entertainment. And you can't get them to talk, okay, let's talk about real life. Let's get out of the entertainment space and let's talk about how men and women actually act, what's fair. No, but women this and women that, and women expect certain things, you know. So it's very hard to get someone to snap out of what they're always watching and what they love watching and being entertained by. And they don't have a line. You might, I might, but many people don't. The more time they spend online, the harder it is for them to find a real life relationship or a friend.
Yeah, that makes sense. I guess everyone's influenced by what they watch a lot or what they talk about a lot. Like even with red pill stuff, that can influence you a little bit if you watch too much of it.
I think people who have a very clear line and they spend a lot of time in reality, even if they're entertained online and they watch movies and they YouTube and whatever, social media, but they know the difference. Their mind is very clear on that. It's very black and white. That's fine. But I think this generation now, they just spend so much time in one that they never exercise the muscle to go into the other one. And then after a while, it's just all in one fantasy realm, you know? Because think about this. You watch a movie or a TV series of those women fighting. You watch it, it's over. We talk, you've got reality to engage with. You know, you've got a job and friends and whatever, and you're not very social. Imagine all you've got is you're online all the time. And you're always like with people in the comment section, watching Fresh and Fit, people fighting, relationships, drama, TikToks of people doing stupid stuff. That's all you watch. It's a rom-com or a reality TV show that never ends. You're awake all day and you're just consuming it all day. It's a series you're binging and it never stops.
Yeah, I get that.
You know?
Yeah.
So imagine when you date and that's your mental state.
Yeah, well then you need to recognize what's going on, I guess, and get out of it.
Yeah, or people who watch anime all the time. You know,
I don't like
those
anime.
but those stories are very weird. Sometimes they don't even have a story. It's very odd and esoteric. All right. I didn't have much to say about why do women pick bad boys. I can only guess. And I'd hope that women might, when they're naive, pick a bad boy because, you know, they find it attractive. But then after a couple of times, you'd hope that they would learn their lesson. But a lot of them don't. Just like they tell guys, a guy can be stupid once or twice, but after a while, everyone would say to the guy, come on, man, learn from your mistakes, grow up, man up. In the same way, women who like bad boys, woman up and stop doing it.
Yeah, but that's why I say I think it might just be the same thing. Like the same way how men are attracted to women and they stay in relationships and they ignore red flags and they take shit from women. That may be the same way that women keep going for bad boys.
Yeah.
Some women.
Yeah, in the same way we just go for looks and are sexually motivated. Women go for bad boys and are danger motivated.
Yeah, and I think if you're outside of that, then it's like I don't really know what to say about that because I'm not in it. You know, I don't know.
Yeah. The best advice, we always forget this stuff, is if you're acting a certain way.
Stay single. No kidding.
No, but like, what advice would you give to your best friend or your son or your daughter? The way they're acting, like the people they're choosing, what would you say to them? That's the advice you should be taking. So if you're a girl, say, who always goes for bad boys, and you've always got the same sob story. I'm the victim, I'm the victim. And it's like all of your boyfriends are the same kind of guy. What would you be saying to them? They're like your daughter or your best friend. It's like at some point you got to, I feel sympathy, but come on, let's not have this happen again. Like you got to decide this will never happen again. And you can't just say, well, all men are pigs, or like the manosphere, all women are like this. It's like, at some point, you've got to choose differently. You can't just say, I just like what I like, I can't help it. Don't pick bad people anymore. And I know it's not a guarantee that you'll get a relationship or it'll work out, but it's a hell of a lot better. The chances are a lot better if you want to have relationships that they will work out, you'll have healthier ones, and they're not going to be train wreck stories.
Yeah, but I think that the problem might be that some women don't want to.
Well,
because if they really wanted to, then they probably would be able to do it.
Yeah, you see them, a lot of them go crazy if you ask them to take responsibility. If they're like a 40-year-old woman that keeps playing the victim and saying, oh, every guy I've gone out with, I've had so many relationships, they're all a-holes. I was like, well, then it's your fault. Oh my God, like I can't believe you're blaming the victim. Like every guy I went out with abused me. It's like, why are you attractive to abusive guys? If it happens once, if you date 15 people, one or two of them abused you in a similar way. Okay, sympathy. If nearly all of them did, this is your fault. Sorry, it is your fault. I have zero sympathy. I have some sympathy, but to a limit. It's like you're a toddler, but I'm not gonna like.
That is suspicious. Yeah.
That is statistics that I do believe in. 90% of the guys you're with do a certain bad thing to you and you hate it. Yeah, it's not their fault. Well, it is theirs because they did it, but you pick them all the time.
Big O says, bad boys display dominance. It's that simple. Yeah, that attracts women. Dominance, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I just think it's if you're confident as a guy, you know who you are and you're not going to apologize for it. I don't need to be dominant. I don't need to be an arsehole. I don't need to be angry.
You don't, but you're like a healthy man in a healthy marriage. But like bad boys might.
No, but say what attracted you to me. And I'm not saying I acted a certain way to make women attracted to me. I was like, no, I'm tired of trying to impress. I'm trying to make everyone happy. I'm just me. I speak well. I'm not going to apologize for anything I don't have to be ashamed of, and I don't care anymore. You're not going to, I was tired of the world shaming me, and I'm just who I am. But I'm not trying to be tough. I'm not trying to display alphaness to you so Stephanie can be attracted to me. It's like, this is me, take me or leave me, I don't care. And then a woman responds like, I like this guy, he's confident. It's not that I'm trying to be.
No, but you're not a bad boy.
Yeah.
That's different. He's talking about bad boys.
Yeah, but I've had women that at times think I look like a bad boy, depending on how I dress and, you know, how fit I am at that time and everything. And they have this image of me by looking at me, and they don't want to see that I'm not the guy that they expect. You know, I'm confident, but I'm not that kind of bad boy that they might think I am.
Yeah.
But again, that's their fault. But it's annoying.
You do have the bad boy look. Like if your character was like a bad boy, that would fit.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Because when I first saw you on YouTube, I thought you were very hot.
Yeah, but you didn't think I was a bad boy because you could...
Not necessarily bad boy, but if you had been a bad boy, then that would have made sense with the way you look.
Yeah.
So I get that women could confuse that with the way you look. Yeah.
All right, I think we're done, aren't we? Yeah. We went over an hour. See what happens? It's not just me on my streams. Let us know what you think of the microphones, if they sound okay. I can never get yours sounding exactly the way I want.
I don't even hear a difference.
You don't
ever.
care. You don't care.
I don't hear it because I don't care, probably, yeah.
Except when you're tapping the desk. Remember that one? We did a stream where you were tapping everything. All right.
Yeah.
Let us know any comments below this video. You might have any experience or anything with dating someone who's actually bad. The difference between someone that's edgy, who's got charisma or an X factor. We get that. People like someone interesting. You don't want someone boring. You want someone interesting, conversationally or lifestyle. They're fun. They can stand up for you. Your partner's got your back, man or woman. Not necessarily an over-the-top tough guy, but then you've got the dangerous person. They display dominance, but they're actually dangerous. Girls go too far sometimes.
I think this is all just, it comes down to responsibility. Like if you want to have fun with a bad boy or a bad girl for a while just to date, like that's fine. As long as it's not dangerous. But like if you're just a normal person and you want to have a normal relationship, go for a normal person. Don't go for a bad boy or a
There's
bad
also
girl.
the factor of a girl can push it far with a bad boy and the law will stop him being too bad. If the guy's a complete lunatic, yeah, he's going to go to jail. The law can protect the girl from the worst consequences of a really bad boy. A guy going for a bad girl, a dangerous girl, the law's not going to stop him. He really just gets his life ruined. So it's more important for a guy to be very aware of actual bad, dangerous girls. Women don't have to worry as much because unless you got some dumb lunatic who's going to do something so bad that he's going to throw away his life and get thrown in jail, there's not many of those guys. But you can get with a relatively bad, the level of badness in a guy, compared to me picking a girl with the same level of badness, I have to lower that way down to keep myself safe.
I think it's almost like two different levels of being bad, because like I know that it can be very dangerous for women because there's a lot of domestic violence and stuff that happens. But I feel like with women, there are a lot of malicious women that can screw a guy over.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, but they're kind of like, they're both, I think, bad, obviously, but they're like a little bit different.
The bad women out there, that's more of a reality. Like a woman that's bad that can actually ruin a man's life, the reality of her actually being bad, there's more of them out there. A bad boy, like the Hollywood movies, like a real psycho bad, that's not really out there. There's not many of those men, and they get quickly put in jail, and they're not in society. You know, they don't get punished. So the bar for badness in guys is very high that girls can play with.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like most sane women just like the bad boy fantasy. Is that funny?
You said sane women, babe.
The sane women that I can count on my hand in the world, they probably... No kidding.
You've got internalized misogyny. That's what you've got.
Really? Why do I have that?
Because you don't think much of women.
You laughed at what I said.
I know. I'm joking.
No, but I think that like the women that are like me, that are just like a bad boy in a movie, that's like attractive. It's like more like the fantasy is attractive, but not reality. What was my point going to be? I forgot.
You'll take responsibility though. That's the difference.
Yeah.
Because say you make a mistake. So I can imagine you if you were with the guy that was a bad boy and he turned out to be an idiot and he lied to you and cheated, right? You wouldn't play the victim like, oh my God. You would say, he did this and this, he's an asshole. And then someone might say, well, why did you go out with him? And you would say, yeah, I know. You would immediately recognize, well, I had a part to play in this as well. I'm also responsible. I knew what I was getting myself into. But a lot of people are like, no, I was an angel. I didn't see anything. I swear, no.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. It's about, none of that stuff has to happen if you just take responsibility. Because I feel like you would recognize red flags and stop it. You know? Like, even if someone says something to you in a certain tone, that's like completely like not okay. People then just ignore what just happened and move on with their lives. And I would be like, hold on a minute. We're first going to fix whatever happened here before we can move on. And I feel like people don't do that. They just ignore stuff and move on. You know what I mean?
There we go. I fixed the camera.
I look triggered. Look at me. I'm like...
All right. I think we're blabbing here.
Oh, it isn't internalized. She's kind of openly... And why am I misogynistic? Why would you say that I
Actually, live chat. Let's do live chat.
Explain to me, please, why you think I am like that.
Maybe he's joking. See, this is the thing. Sometimes humor typed out online you can't gauge it.
Yeah, please don't joke. Just tell me what it is.
She takes everything literally.
Yeah.
So if you joke about the opposite, she won't know. She'll take everything you write literally.
Unless it's like very clearly a joke, I guess.
Yeah, anime tropes. All right, I think there's no more questions.
Yeah, I think I'm obviously not misogynistic or anything, but I have, like, the red pill has opened my eyes to a lot of female traits that I never really thought about before. I will say that.
Boffin says, I once knew a woman who married 3 times and all 3 men were alcoholics. I was too polite to ask why she kept marrying drunks, and I'm not sure she gave it any conscious thought. Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah. The comedian in me is saying, did she marry 3 alcoholics or did she create 3 alcoholics?
Oh, that's a talent.
Yeah.
You can do that.
Well, did you they were all nice at the start, so you're the factor. Or you actually, most of the times, you're attracted to the bad qualities that you find familiar. Like you said, you were traumatized in the past and you find that means love to you.
You know how some women go to a bar to meet men? She probably went to like AA meetings to meet men.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't stand guys who just want sex all the time. Every guy I met, I went to sex addicts like meetings to find my man.
Yeah.
And I'm complaining that I find men that want.
Oh, he answered. I am being funny. She's really honest that many women are awful, as are many men.
See?
Okay, so it's a joke. Okay.
See? This is why I learned to trust her very quick. She doesn't play games. Up doesn't mean down. Up just means up.
I should have known because there's actually a laughing face behind it. But
but sometimes they could be laughing at you being misogynistic.
Right.
And like, I can't believe Bobby's with her. So it's online stuff is very hard to gauge humor. I take things literally because, again, you can't blame me for typing something and I can't see your face. I don't know you. Like, I know Karu's humor. So when he types, I know his personality and I match it to what he's saying, and I know, that's him saying a joke or not. But if I don't know you and we haven't talked, and especially if I can't see your face, I can't gauge humor. That's why everyone has to put smiley faces at the end. And see, even when you put a smiley face, you don't know. What do you mean? Are you laughing at me, or are you saying it was the opposite of what you said, and that's why you're laughing?
That's an interesting term, though, internalized. So that means you're not like actually misogynistic to women, but it's just like internally you feel that way, and people might notice it by the way you act or something. That's like interesting.
Karu said that the Boffin's story about the woman who married 3 alcoholics, she liked drunk pheromones. What if you're really, like cologne? You're just really turned on by beer. Like beer breath.
Ew.
Or alcoholic breath.
That's, I don't know, yeah. To each their own, I guess.
Anyway, all right, let's go. See, I've been saying let's go for a while. We're under an hour.
It will take another half an hour because you just said let's go.
No, let's
So
go.
now
We're
it's gonna
going.
take-
We're going. Got stuff to do. Food to eat.
Yes. Yes.
And Sunday. No, it's not Sunday. I keep thinking it's Sunday. Friday to enjoy. We're having family over tonight. Got to prepare a few things, clean the house. Probably mow the lawn because the weather's still good. Do the guy duties.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to go. Have a good weekend. Let us know your thoughts below about bad boys and bad girls, but mainly the cliches, bad boys. And we'll see you in the next stream or video.
Yes.
All right. Anything you want to say?
No. I don't know.
All right. We'll catch you later. Bye, everyone.
Bye.